if the president or government changes next year, these policies could revert back, they could be shortened, but people who still have their 5-year work permit from the prior year can still take advantage of those benefits. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm Puyan Darian, an immigration attorney, and today I'm going to be providing some recent updates to USCIS in 2024. One of the most exciting changes to USCIS policy at the moment is that employment authorization cards, commonly referred to as work permits, are now issued for 5 years. So what that means is, in many categories, when you apply for your work permit, the expiration date will be 5 years after the card is issued, which is a pretty drastic departure from current work permits, which are typically issued from 1 to 2 years, depending on the immigration category. If your work permit was issued for 1 or 2 years and it's going to expire soon, we will usually encourage people to apply to renew their cards as soon as possible so that they could get the 5-year card. This is really important, especially as we enter an election cycle. If the president or government changes next year, these policies could revert back, they could be shortened, but people who still have their 5-year work permit from the prior year can still take advantage of those benefits. One of the other recent changes that USCIS just announced is that beginning on April 1st, they are going to implement a whole new series of fees for all of their applications. This is particularly important for those of you who have prepared your own applications and you've just been waiting for some sort of event before you mail it out. It's important for you after April 1st to make sure that all of the applications you've prepared have the most recent edition. So for example, if you've downloaded a work permit application and you've prepared it and you're going to mail it out after April 1st, it would be a good idea to check after April 1st to make sure the edition that you have is the most recent edition. You can go on the USCIS website and download the most recent editions after April 1st. And while you're there, be sure to check out the filing fees for each application because they are changing. I'm not going to go through all of the specific changes. You can find them on the USCIS policy website. But if you are going to apply and your application fee is going to increase, it might be a good idea to apply before April 1st if you're eligible to do so. The last thing I want to talk about, and in my opinion the most exciting thing, is that processing times for all sorts of applications have improved pretty dramatically over the last year and going strong into 2024. USCIS just announced that for the first time they've processed 10 million applications for benefits in the last fiscal year. That's better than they've ever done before, and I've seen it with many of my cases. Two very notable examples that come to mind is we recently filed a naturalization application for US citizenship, and from start to finish, which means from when we filed it until when the applicant actually became a citizen in New York City, was 57 days. That is unusually fast. I've never seen any benefit approved that quickly, especially one such as citizenship. An interesting note in this case, typically when you go for a naturalization interview, you are not sworn in on the same day. So you apply for citizenship, you go for an interview where you're given a test, a citizenship test, and then you're told to come back for a swearing in ceremony several months later. In the one example I gave, she was sworn in on the same day. And again, this was in New York City, which was a departure from past practices and hopefully something that will be continuing into the future. Another example of one of my recent cases that got approved very quickly was a petition for a father. So a US citizen petitioned for their father in an application for adjustment of status, which means permanent residence. And in less than 4 months, the father became a permanent resident. So from start to finish, he got his green card in 4 months, no interview, no request for evidence. Those are really fast processing times, whereas a year ago, we could have waited 1.5 years for the same outcome. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you have any questions about immigration topics, please put them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer each question within 1 week of the video posting. If you have a question from an old video, the best thing to always do is to post it on my most recent video. It'll guarantee that I will answer it if I posted the video less than 7 days ago. If you're new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe. I put out new immigration content on a weekly basis, and I'll see you guys next week for another video.